Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 20 updates and spoilers. Our house guest today is Rosemary Gross. Rosemary, thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it and we think you're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guests today like Rosemary, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. And if you're interested in much love merchandise, aka merch love, thank you for whoever suggests that in the comments. Check out the link. If you follow that, you will get 15% off for a few more days. Ooh. Okay, so before we get started, I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Yay! And I also want to say I'm a little disappointed in some of the things that I've been seeing in the comments section of the videos. I don't like it. I know most of you are like respectful of each other and everything, and I think that's wonderful. We have such a nice little community built up here, but some people are getting out of hand and offensive and rude, and I don't like that. So just like be nice to each other in the comments. Don't say anything that you wouldn't say to somebody's face. Don't say anything that you wouldn't want somebody saying to you. You know, just be respectful. And I'm gonna have to say, like, if it doesn't change, we're gonna have to disable the comments because it's not okay and we're not gonna stand for that. So just be nice to each other. Now let's talk about where we left off yesterday. The feeds were down for a few hours and it sounds like they were practicing for an upcoming HOH competition. Something with balls? I don't know. And after that, JC and Scotty were climbing the rock wall. Lots of fun. I think that's a nice element in the house this season. And then, a little game chat here. Rockstar was discussing her rogue vote plan with Swaggy. So we already heard her talk about this with Haley, but now she's presenting this to Swaggy. So just to remind you, she wants herself and another person to vote Steve out, and then they're going to pin those votes on the bros, Winston and Brett, and then Steve is going to be super pissed off at them and want to target them if he comes into power. So Swaggy's like, yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, but we have to make sure it's guaranteed that Steve is staying if we're going to do this. So he wants to check with Rachel because he feels like he's got like a pretty good relationship with her. If she's on the other side of the house, maybe find out how the other side is voting. They're also going to listen to Sam's goodbye speech and see what that's like. Is she talking like she's going? Is she staying? You know, they want to feel it out. And maybe they'll go through with it. Can you imagine, though? Can you imagine if they actually do that? Crazy. Everyone's overplaying so much, but it is a ton of fun to watch. So then, Sam was in the house yesterday as a human. She cleaned the bathroom. I mean, like, a deep clean of the bathroom. Everybody's like, oh my god, you're the best! And then just as she was finishing that up, time to go back to being a robot. Are you serious? That's so sad. Okay, but Tyler is still working hard to get that 7th vote for Sam. He's really working on Caitlyn. He sees the cracks in that other side of the house. So he's trying to pull her over to the level 6 side. So he's asking her, do you think we could be good with the other side, potentially? And Caitlyn says, yes, but I'm scared. She doesn't think they need to pull that card yet. She doesn't want to switch over too early. What if her Fouty group or whatever, Faute, comes into power? She doesn't want to ditch them before that because then they're going to want to get her out. So she's like, let's see who wins HOH. Let's see who's doing a good job. And then we'll decide what we want to do. Tyler's like, yeah, I don't really want to do that because it's going to look really bad if we go over to the other side after they win HOH, because then they're going to be like, oh, you just want to work with us because we're in power. That's exactly what Caitlyn wants to do. So they agree, you know, they're going to sit for a little while and think about it. Okay, whatever. So then they also agree that they don't really trust Fessie anymore. Caitlyn feels that he's done her dirty. He was her day one, okay? So Tyler is like her day two, who has become her day one. It's like, it's a mess. Caitlyn is very messy. And I remember preseason, she was like, I'm going to help everybody with all their drama and whatever. You are making so much of the drama. She's very needy and very messy. So they agree that they trust each other the most right now. I don't know about that. But Caitlyn, this is really interesting. She says if she was watching this season, like as a viewer, she feels she would want to clear out Swaggy's side. She would want to get rid of them. So like Swaggy, Bailey, Fessie, she would be like, whoa, they need to go. She didn't like how they were making things worse between her and Haley because they could have just resolved that easily between the two of them. But the rest of the group was making it worse and worse. So then Tyler's like, yeah, they suck. So like maybe we should go to the other side. So he's presenting the numbers to her. He's like, what if me, you, and Sam go join up with the bros group? It could be 9 to 6. We would be in that 9, but we would kind of like be in the middle. So it wouldn't be really dangerous, like if your old friends got some power. And Caitlyn's like, I don't know, I'd feel really bad about voting out Steve because he's like my dad in here. So she doesn't know if she wants to do that. But then Tyler pulls out the big guns. He's like, have you considered that maybe Sam has the power this week? He says that it would make a lot of sense because she's a freaking robot. Of course she's going to be trending. People are talking about her. So Caitlyn's like, all right, well, should I ask her if she has it? And Tyler's like, no, I'll ask. Good cover, man. He's like, you remember what happened last time you tried to give her a pep talk? That storage room confrontation, though? Okay, so then they speculate about what the power could possibly be. Maybe it's an extra vote. Maybe it's some sort of secret veto. So then Caitlyn's asking Tyler, if it is a veto, who would you put up? And he's like, Bailey? I mean, that's what he was going to do with the original veto, right? And then Caitlyn suggests putting up Fessie and voting him out. Remember when Caitlyn said that she wasn't mad at Fessie? Come on! Oh my god! I don't know if she would actually follow through with something like that, but he's like, would you really vote him out? And she's like, yeah. I don't know about that. Okay, so then Caitlyn, back to this week, back to the Sam versus Steve. She says she kind of likes the idea of keeping someone around who isn't already working with a side because they've discussed it and it definitely seems like Steve is more with Swaggy's group, but Sam is kind of in the middle right now and that could be good for them. So Caitlyn says she doesn't know what she's going to do yet, but it seems like she could be workable. Maybe she could be convinced to keep Sam. Honestly, I think Caitlyn really likes the attention. She loves that Tyler is like focusing on her right now, even if he is just trying to get her vote. So anyway, a little while later, more Caitlyn and Fessie drama. It just goes on and on. So Caitlyn presents her issues to Fessie. She said, I was fine. And then you kept going around saying that I wasn't fine. And that's not okay. There's obviously some sort of trust issue here. You're not believing what I'm saying. And she tells him, you are flattering yourself, thinking that she cares if he gets in a showmance. Oh. And she's also like, don't you feel at least a little bit bad that you are like one of the biggest reasons that I was attacked by the rest of our group, that everybody was talking about me, and then you didn't even stick up for me? So she's telling him, if you heard everybody talking about me, you could have put a stop to it. You could have come and got me and like brought me to the discussion, but no, you just let it happen. Oh, damn. So then she's like, I've been called to the diary room over this. Allison Groner was asking me if I'm okay. Allison Groner is one of the executive producers of the show. So she was dropping that name, and Fessie's response is just, this game is hard. It doesn't make sense to him. He doesn't understand how they were best friends before, and now they barely even talk. Welcome to Big Brother. So he wants to make sure they're still good, make sure that they're whatever is like number one, their alliance is number one. And Caitlyn's crying. She's like, I honestly don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about the group. I don't think that you guys would go to bat for me. Again, she says, don't flatter yourself. I don't care that much about, you know, what you're doing in your personal life or who you're showmancing. Come on, girl. We all see it. Come on. So then Fessie's like, okay, well, what about all the comments that you've been making about me and Haley? Hello, looks like they're having sex under there. And something about a bandana, asking if Haley was wearing Fessie's bandana or something like that. I don't know. And Caitlyn is like, I didn't say those things. I don't remember it. And if I did, it was probably a joke. And she says that she's never said anything mean to anyone in her life. No. There is no way. Come on. There's no way. So while they're having this discussion, JC comes into the room. Tyler comes into the room. They kick both of them out, even though this is happening in Tyler's HOH room. But then Swaggy comes in, and he gets to stay. So Fessie's like, you know what? I know things are tense right now, but hopefully everything will just go back to normal when somebody from our group wins HOH and sticks to the original plan, and then we can prove to each other that we're all still good. So Caitlyn's like, I don't know, I don't feel safe in the group right now. And she says, I am an intuitive reader. Okay, she knows what's going on. I just had some major flashbacks to BB Can 2 with Allison being like, I am a healthcare professional. Yeah, she's an intuitive reader, okay? So she can pick up on these things. So then Swaggy's telling her, don't worry. Yes, we were talking about you, but like none of the stuff we were saying was game related. Oh, great. So you're just talking about her on a personal level. I'm sure she feels great about that. But Swaggy is like, I don't want you jumping over to the other side over this. We would never turn on you. You don't have to worry about that. So again, I feel like that is not a good thing to say because it makes it seem like you just don't want to lose that number, right? That's how I would take that. I would not be happy about that. But Caitlyn's like, it's going to be fine, whatever. She says that she gets over things quickly because she can put them into perspective. How many days have we been talking about this shit right now? Yeah. Okay. So then, moving on. Angela and Rachel were both crying yesterday. Everybody picked up on them being weird and like, I don't think they were really allowed to talk about it, but I believe the producers spoke to them individually about their comments that have been all abuzz on like TMZ and stuff, the tanning comments. So I guess Big Brother told them, watch what you say, but at the same time, maybe just like change the way you think so you don't have to worry about saying things like that. What a novel idea. But they were upset, and I think they were trying to play it off like it was just homesickness or like things like that. I don't know. But I mean, it's pretty obvious that they were spoken to. So then, back to the game. Brett and Winston were chatting in the Have Not room last night. Are they changing their minds about this vote right now? We saw in the beginning of the week, they wanted to keep Steve. And then the girls in the Level 6 Alliance were like, we should keep Sam. And the bros were kind of going along with it. They were like, yeah, okay, if you guys want to do that, sure. But now, it seems like they're flipping back. They don't think it's worth it to keep Sam around. They're like, yes, she's a vote. She'd probably be a number for us. But she could also be a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like a detriment, but liability. They feel like she would be a liability for them because she doesn't know the game well. They don't think that she's cut out for it. Honestly, like, I don't think she's cut out for this game either. I think she's a really cool person, but she is so not cut out for Big Brother. They don't think that she's going to be good at competitions, and if they keep her, it's really going to be drawing a line right down the middle of the house. And they're not opposed to doing that, but they're wondering, is it worth it to save Sam? You know, if it was somebody from their group, yeah. But for Sam, they're not so sure. They're also thinking that they can still pull Steve and Scotty over to their side next week. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. They seem pretty comfortable with Fouty. So they're like, we gotta keep this vote unanimous. We gotta let Chris think that he's running the show. And then we can just have Steve and Scotty in our back pocket. I think there's a hole in your back pocket, okay? They're gone. They're not with you. Plus, they say they enjoy broing out with Steve more than they enjoy hanging out with Sam. Come on! Don't be like that. Alright, so then today, the house guests are getting all dressed up for 4th of July. I'm assuming Big Brother's going to give them some sort of party later. Usually in the past, they would have food for them. They'd have a grill for them. I don't know if they're going to be able to go outside today because they might be building for tomorrow's HOH, but I feel like they're at least going to give them some food, right? I think in the past, too, they've turned the feeds off for an hour or two so they can play music for them. They got to give them something. It's the 4th of July. So Sam is back in human form today. She was talking to Tyler about the votes, and for some reason, she still thinks that she's going to get Scotty. But last night, he told her point blank, Steve is my dude. I'm sorry, I think you're wonderful, but I'm going to have to vote for Steve to stay. And I mean, he was really sweet about it, and then she thinks that he's just like playing it up and he's going to keep her. But it doesn't make sense. So she's still hoping for that. And Tyler's like, I think we should keep working on Caitlyn. But Sam is really skeptical about that. She's got a rocky history with Caitlyn. I think you guys got to check in with the bros because that's not looking great. I know also the bros were saying last night that they want to talk to Tyler about how they're feeling and see what he says. It'll be interesting to see what Tyler's response is because he really wants this Sam thing to work out. So tomorrow is the eviction. Finally, this first week is always so long because it's like double. But yeah, somebody either will or won't be going tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.